You want a full reference number? 646.
All right, listen up, everybody. Listen up. Got an announcement to make.
Oh, shoot. What the hell? What the hell's going on?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, every time you make one of these announcements, it ends up lately being about that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, you're freaking kidding me.
No, he's doing another podcast.
Who?
Chris Barnes wants to do another podcast. We got to do the opening.
Really?
And listen, you're the old guy. You're the old guy that. Aren't you the guy that we threw out last time?
I don't remember.
I think you are. You're the guy that did the music last time, and he didn't do it well, and I told you to get the hell out of here.
All right. I guess I'll go. I don't think you got another guy that's going to do the music, though, so good friggin' luck with that. I don't want... You always talking about not wanting to piss Chris Barnes off.
Yeah, all right. On second thought, you better stick around, because listen, okay, everybody, listen, here's the deal. So Chris Barnes is like a freaking force to be reckoned with. He already did 2 really sucky podcasts. They're both freaking crazy. They're just him yapping and talking. But this is a thing, and we're supposed to do it. So just let's buck up and put our big person pants on and just do the freaking opening the way he wants us to do it, because it's a lot easier that way. You know, it's called the path of least resistance. So let's just freaking do it, all right?
I'm all for it. I got nothing else to do.
All right, where's that guy that's supposed to do the voice thing? Me. I don't think so. I don't recall that voice ever being on these products. As a matter of fact, you get the hell out of here, man. I'm just like...
Yeah, that was just me being silly.
Well, that was you with the high voice?
No, it was me.
You guys are confusing the shit out of me. This is the most fucked up beginning to the show yet. If people thought the first 2 episodes were screwy, this is like out of control, and we haven't even freaking started yet.
Hi, I'm the guy with the voice. I'm the guy that's supposed to do the thing for the Joe Rogan show.
I've told you before, the Joe Rogan show is down the hall and to the left, so just either go there and do the damn Joe Rogan show.
Well, I'm also scheduled to do stuff on Mike O'Mara's show. Hey, did you know Chris Barnes and Mike O'Mara used to know each other? Of course, today Mike O'Mara would never return. He wouldn't return Chris Barnes' phone call, I tell you that much.
How do you know that?
Because I know I know Chris Barnes is trying to get him to call him back, and he never does.
Yeah, I've heard that about Mike O'Mara. He's a big dick, too. They're all dicks. Forget about it. Let's just do this thing.
Is there going to be music again?
Isn't there always music? We always have music. How many of these have we done?
I only did the last one. There was a guy before that did the...
I know, okay. Yeah, I know. I got it. All right. Okay, let's everybody just figure out what their damn job is. And let's do it. And let's just get it the freak over with so we can get the hell out of here. I'm sick and tired of this. Every time we go to do an opening for Chris Barnes' show, it devolves into all this freaking chaos, and I've had it.
We're all just voices in his head.
I'm well aware of that. But I don't want to lose my job. I got kids. For God's sake.
All right, I got it. I've got it too. I'm ready to do whatever you want.
All right. Well, first we'll just worry about doing the voice thing, and we'll talk about the other stuff later.
I'm not sure how to take that, but I'm kind of intrigued.
Yeah, well, whatever. So listen. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We invite diversity here on Chris Barnes' podcast. You know, he likes to talk about liking the ladies, but if the voice in his head, I'm starting to sound like he does sometimes. I'm slurring my words. He's driven me to drink, for God's sakes. I was going to say that if the voices in his head happen to be gay?
I don't want to keep in. I'm out of this conversation.
All right, I got it. Well, we'll move on. But again, we embrace diversity.
I think you've made that clear. Why don't we just move on?
Yeah, well, I just want to make it clear. You can always just edit this thing, and take those questionable remarks out of it. It's not like you don't know how to edit a freaking this whole thing. We're doing an opening when you can't figure out how to edit it out. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to think about it. I just want to. Can we just do the freaking opening? And by the way, can everybody in the background start to shut up? This is starting to. There's too much buzz and hum. It sounds like an office. Where'd we get these sound effects? I thought we were supposed to be using like studio background. It sounds like it's like coffee shop background. What the hell's going on?
Well, that's why you need professionals like me. I can do the voice part, and you don't have to question it because it's always perfect.
I don't know about that, but it's okay. It's mediocre, which is fine because that's sure as hell a better description. I mean, that's higher quality than Chris Barnes' actual podcast. So,
I actually hear that people love the beginning.
Yeah, I hear they only listen until when we dump out and he goes, "Hi, I'm Chris Barnes, it's my podcast." That's generally when everybody, I've checked the analytics on YouTube, on his channel, and everybody dumps out the minute he comes on as himself. They only seem to actually like this kind of bullshit, so let's kind of maximize this. As a matter of fact, why don't we argue a little bit longer?
Music guy is falling asleep, so I don't know if we're not going to be able to argue with him.
All right, now that I think about it, yeah, let's just get this thing done. Let's just get this thing done.
You sounded a lot like Chris Barnes when he's loaded.
I know. I do a good job, don't I? Hey, everybody. I'm Chris Barnes. I got a thing with my podcast.
Wow, that's spot on, man. You sound just like him. Anyway, I'm ready to do the thing. If we could just get the music guy to wake up, I think we could actually get this done in a minute or two.
All right, we'll poke him. Poke him with a stick.
What was that?
Did you poke him with a stick?
Well, it wasn't a stick, but it worked. Well, I'm awake. So you wanted the music again, right?
Yeah, did you save the music from last time, or are you going to have to, figure it out again?
I don't know. Let me see. Was it this?
No, it's certainly not that. Not that I don't like that, but that's not his podcast music. Come on.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got it over here. Was it this?
Well, no, I don't think so. It should be that, because that's really actually pretty good. But no, I'm afraid that's not it.
Oh, wait. Okay, no, I found it. Here it is.
Bingo. There you go. You got it. Oh, man, you're coming back to me, man. Thank you there, old guy.
Old guy fell asleep again.
All right, well. He managed to hit the music on, so we're good. Frankly, I hope he stays asleep for the rest of this segment.
All right, music is playing. Voice guy, you ready to go?
Yes, I am ready to go. I'll see you. See you later. No, I don't mean that. I mean, are you ready to do the voice thing?
I'm sorry. Yes, I am ready to do the voice thing.
All right. Now I know the voice. I know the music guy fell asleep. But could you manage to bring the music down? That would take a little pause, and then bring the music up.
I don't know. I think you should actually just get a better music guy. I'm gonna want extra if I gotta move that thing, and I'm gonna screw something else up.
Oh my! What do you think Look at the guy that's doing the music. You don't think you're better than he is? Just freaking move the thing up and down. You can freaking figure it out. You ever tuned a radio on? You ever gotten in a car? Oh, hey, I can Hey, look at this. I can make it louder. How did I just do that? That's amazing. Fucking do it. You know what to do.
I know, but I'm supposed to be focused on just doing the voice thing.
Well, then poking with a stick again.
I told you. It wasn't a stick.
I'm poking with something.
Hey, old guy. Oh my God. What are you doing to me? This is not right. Well, we'll talk about that later. You're supposed to do the music. I'm having a big argument over here with this guy. With what guy? That guy over there. What guy? The guy over there. The guy that always yells at you.
Me, the guy that freaking always yells at you. I mean, come on, old guy. I've already run you out of here so many times in the first 2 episodes. It's not even funny.
I think I told you I wasn't even on the first episode.
Well, it feels like you've been on every episode. Just freaking start the music.
Actually, the music's already playing. I think I put it on before I dozed off.
All right, that's what I mean. Okay, right. Bring the music down. As in, hey, let me be clear. Let me be clear, singers. You don't seem to understand technical words, but we bring the music. Turn the music off, or just don't turn it off. Just put the volume down, and when I give you the countdown, bring the music up, and then the voice guy can do his thing.
I've got it. I know my part. I think I got my part. Okay. Oh, hang on. Let me wake up. Let me rub the sleepies out of my eyes.
Oh, for God's sake, sleepies in your eyes. What are you? What are you, a baby?
In my head, I am actually, but we're all just in Chris Barnes' head, so.
Yeah, let's not go there again. Let's just do this freaking thing. Once and for freaking all, everybody. And by the way, quiet in the background. I told you before. I want all the sound effects of the background noise to stop.
I hope you don't expect me to handle that, because I can just about handle the music.
Oh, for God's sakes, don't worry. I'm not expecting you to figure out how to stop the ambient background noise.
Wow, that's quite a term, ambient background noise. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Because you're not an actual sound guy. Anyway, just background noise, sound effects, stop now. Oh, for God's sakes. Well, then just keep going. I don't give a shit. If Chris Barnes wants to complain, hey, I heard a bunch of background noise, like the office was in the background, like, sounded like a coffee shop, I'll just say, well, fuck you. We're just voices in your head anyway. Leave us alone.
I'm starting to get to the point where I want you all to just do this too. I've got to go. I'm supposed to be announcing on the Joe Rogan show.
Oh, that's right. Okay, come on, let's get it done. All right, we'll get it together. All right, listen, old guy, last time you couldn't figure out what the 3, 2, 1 meant. Do you get it now?
Hey, you mean that thing where you did the 3, 2, 1?
Yes, right. I told you. You got a little education, didn't you? That's what you do in the business. You do the countdown, and then you hit the music on.
Yeah, I think I got it this time.
All right, here we go. All right, well, first you gotta bring the freaking music down.
Oh, okay. All right, it's down.
I can still hear it a little.
All right, now it's down.
Okay, here we go. This is me doing the countdown. You got it?
You talking to me?
Yes! Yes, I'm talking to you. All right, here we go. 3, 2. No! I didn't say 1 yet. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun.
Yes, you did. All right, let's try this again. 3. What are you doing? I didn't even get the 2.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm having a bad day.
Well, all right. I told you, if we piss Chris Barnes off again, he is going to freaking kill us. He's a douchebag. Remember that.
We've come to learn that.
Okay.
as has his entire audience. And I use that term loosely.
All right, you know what? Let's just not do a countdown. I'm just going to be quiet. Hey, old guy, after I'm quiet, after I stop talking for like a couple of seconds, just start the damn music.
Okay, I got it.
What are you doing when I'm quiet? When are you going to start the damn music?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, be quiet again.
I am quiet. Right now, I'm quiet.
No, you're not. You're yelling at me.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to be quiet right now. I'm going to be quiet from now. Where's the voice guy?
Well, you never really told me when I'm supposed to come in.
If you're a voice guy, you should kind of figure out like when it sounds logical to come in and say your piece and all that stuff. So why don't you just... Okay, let's start it again. Start it one more time. Stop the music. And turn the background. Why do those sound effects keep coming back? Get the background noise out of here. All right. All right, are we good? Everything's quiet.
I don't hear anything. I can't hear very well, so I'm not the one to ask.
All right, I don't hear anything either. Except me screaming at you guys, for God's sakes. All right, stop it. Stop everything. Are we quiet? We're quiet. Okay. Now, I'm going to be quiet for a couple of seconds, and then I want music guy to slide the music up. And after like a couple of beats or a couple of seconds, I want the voice guy to say the thing.
I don't know what thing you're talking about.
Whatever you're supposed to say this time. You always come in and say, oh, I got a little scrap of paper with something written on it. You know, why don't you freaking print the stuff out? Have you ever used a freaking computer? Can't Chris Barnes maybe email you, like, I want you to say this, and then you can print it out and bring it and put like 5 freaking copies in all of your pockets so that every time I challenge you to do the thing, you can be like, oh, okay, I got one right here, and here it is.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. I don't know why I don't think of that.
Because this is stupid, and we're all in Chris Barnes' head. Let's face it, we're all freaking stupid. We're doomed. We're doomed.
Why do we even bother helping him do podcasts?
He seems to think he's a force to be reckoned with, and I'll be honest with you, I'm afraid to take any chances.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. There's weird people out there. Some people like him. I hear, he just got a text. All right. So anyway, listen, it's not an important text. Don't worry. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a really important text.
Why are you suddenly so close to the microphone? You were over there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm supposed to be over here. Anyway, okay. So listen. Once and for all, let's just do this freaking opening and get it freaking done so that we can start the podcast, or let him start, so somebody can do the damn podcast. I just want to get out of here. I'm so freaking sick and tired of this, okay? So here we go. Here's the quiet, and then music guy start the music, and voice guy just wing it. Just say, yeah, Chris Barnes, and it's his podcast. And then let's just all get out of Dodge.
I'm all for it. I think it works. I'm feeling pretty good about this plan. Power plan. The plan that he just outlined.
The plan that I just outlined. Come on. All you've got to do is slide a little music control. All you got to do is like slide a little slider thing up and down. You know what? We'll figure it out later. Just turn the music on.
Okay, I can do that.
And now get out.
I haven't started this. The music's not playing yet.
I mean, put the music on. And we'll fade it and we'll do a thing with we'll figure it out, okay? Just turn the music on and get the hell out of here.
Okay, I'm fine with that, really, because you guys are starting to piss me off.
Wow, we're pissing you off. That's freaking crazy. Okay, dude, put the music on.
There you go.
Okay, now get out. See you guys. Yeah, I know. See ya. Yeah, see ya. Won't want to be ya. Get out of here. Listen, can I use this as a reference? Absolutely not. Well, you can use it as a reference. but not if you want to get a job. Okay, anyway, music's playing. I'm going to be quiet, and voice guy, say something.
Hi, and welcome to Chris Barnes' podcast. It's his podcast.
So I guess that works. I can't believe we're actually hiring a guy to just say that, but whatever. Sounds good. We're out of here.
What are we going to do about the music? The music guy's gone. Are we just going to let the freaking music play?
Nah, just stop the music. Well, Chris Barnes can figure it out. Just let the music play and give it like 10 seconds and then just stop it. And we'll get the hell out of here and go have a drink.
Okay. It's another, like I say, I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's very funny. Okay, do it. Just do it. I'll meet you out in the parking lot.
Oh, I'm intrigued by that.
Don't get intrigued. We're going for a drink.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see, bastard.
Okay. I wonder when Chris Barnes is going to...
I don't care when Chris Barnes is going to jump in. It doesn't freaking matter. I'm not like a listener of the program. I'm just helping him do the beginning. And God knows it's a freaking cross to bear.
Okay. I just kind of feel like, the first two episodes, it was a little bit funnier, like with the opening. I felt like this one went even longer than the first two openings, and I actually don't think it was that funny.
I don't. It's not my job to make his podcast funny. Okay? Just get that through your head. Let's get the hell out of here.
Okay, hang on.
I'll meet you out in the car.
Am I driving?
Yeah, I decided I'm going to let you drive. Maybe, we'll see what happens.
I am really intrigued. Okay, hang on. Just get out of here, and I'll just fade the music out.
That's what I told you. Okay, see ya. Sorry.
I love you.
What?
Nothing. I'll tell you later. I love you too. Not you, old man. Get out of here. Ew. Anyway, be quiet. I'm going to fade the music, and then we're just going to get the hell out of here.
Hello? What's going on here?
Was that supposed to be an opening to my podcast? It's my podcast. Episode 3. Hello. Where'd everybody go? Well, I guess, listen, I apologize. If anybody's listening, I apologize. Hi, I'm Chris Barnes. This is, I was going to say this is my podcast, but it's not really my podcast because I'm not doing a podcast today. I don't know where they got, leave it to this gang to get it wrong. I'm not doing a podcast today. I'm very, very busy. I don't know if you've heard my 2 previous podcasts, which is highly unlikely. Well, or if you did, you certainly wouldn't have gone, oh, he's got a 3rd one. Let's listen to that. You're not going to go, oh, great, Chris Barnes has posted another podcast. It's going to be much more the opposite situation, I'm sure. But anyway, so if for some reason you're listening, and there's really no, there's no scientific explanation for why you would be listening to this right now. But if by some random circumstance in the universe you're listening to this, which technically, by the way, it's all a gimmick. This is my podcast. I have a podcast, which is the theme of my podcast. I have a podcast. I'm not just some random guy. I got a freaking podcast, for God's sakes. We discussed that. Well, that's right. You didn't hear my other, or you did, and you were like, anyway, never mind. Listen, so anyway, I can't do a 3rd edition of a podcast today. I just can't do it. I'm booked up. I think if you did, let's just say, now, if you did hear my previous podcasts, or even one of them, I talk about the same crap constantly. I think I've established that I do several legitimate radio jobs every day. I work for like 12 hours from a home studio, and I'm heard by millions of people, not in an entertaining way, as if this is entertaining. But in a different way. I do news. And it's it's a thing. It really is. I actually make money. It's like that. Unlike this podcast, which I will never be able to monetize. But anyway, so I juggle like 4 jobs every day. I get up at like 2 a.m, which is usually about 10 minutes after I've gone to bed because I stay up late and do podcasts. I am manic. Anyway, no. So listen, okay. I just want to tell you there is no podcast today. So if you were planning to listen to my podcast, I got to tell you, it's not happening. All right. I'm very busy. Actually, I am still working. I don't want to tell you what time of the day it is actually in reality as I'm recording this, because my supervisors at my various jobs will be there will be trouble. Because I'm not supposed to be doing this on my own time, okay? When you've got 4 radio jobs and you're doing a podcast on top of it, they have every right to come to me and go, listen, pal, you've made some mistakes lately, and we got to think that it's because you're trying to do a podcast while you're doing your other jobs. So listen, I've got to get away from that. So today's the day that I'm not going to keep working during my actual other jobs that pay the bills. Well, they pay some of the bills. Believe me, they don't pay all of the bills. I'm irresponsible with money. I always say I take home about $6,000 a month. The problem is I owe $6,001 every month. So, do the math. It's $1 difference. It's a joke. Come on. So anyway, I can't do a podcast today. I just can't do it. And it's probably a good thing because I've actually had friends that go, hey, we heard your podcast. Because I post these on Facebook initially, and then I post them on YouTube initially, and then I promote them on my Facebook page. So it's really only a limited audience that I'm throwing them out there to and saying, hey, listen to my podcast. I got a podcast. And I've had several friends who know me pretty well come back and go, dude, listen, if you ever need to talk, I'm like, well, needing to talk is obviously not the problem with me because have you heard my podcast? And then they go, yeah, well, that's the point, you don't have to talk to us. If you don't want to call, I'm always here for you. Like, what's your point? I mean, this actually is legitimate. I had good friends, or one good friend who claims there's another friend that's worried about me too. But she said, yeah, no, if you ever want to, because we're quite worried about you. I'm worried about you. Ken's worried about you. And I was like, what? Ken's worried about me too. And anyway, so listen, getting back to my point here, things can get, I can ramble sometimes. Have you guessed that? Yeah, okay. So anyway, I can't do a podcast today because I got to finish my jobs. And then, I'm still very busy on top of it. I'm trying to sell this condo for my mother. She's ended up in a home, which I go and I visit her every day. I shouldn't call it it's an assisted living facility. But she needs a lot of assistance. That's why she's not here anymore. So she's at the place. And I go over and I visit her every day. Luckily, it's right around the corner. So I'm a good son. I'm the only, we're like the only relatives we have. When she does pass away, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have nobody. But anyway, so she's over there at the place. So I have to go over and visit her. So there's the jobs, which as I established take like 12 hours. I've already been up for like 9 of them. So I got a few more hours of work to do on my actual legitimate jobs. And then when I'm done, I'm going to, I've got things to, I'm going to have a few other things to do. Besides the jobs, there's there's the visiting mom, but in between the job ending and the visiting mom, I have other things to do too, I go down to the soup kitchen, every day. When people, how people volunteer down to the soup kitchen? Well, I'm so glad they do because I need them. I need them. So I'll go down and have a meal at the soup kitchen, and then I'm an ordained minister. I think I've got to marry somebody today, which my ex-wife is telling them, don't do it. No, hon, I don't mean it that way. I'm not marrying them. They're just, anyway, forget it. That's a stupid joke. But anyway, so there's that, and then I do other important things, I'm in charge of the homeowners association here at the condo. Well, it's a very small association. You know how usually the association represents everybody in the building or even maybe the community? I just started my own to represent my unit. So I'm in charge of the Unit 401 Homeowners Association. I make rules for myself that I break every day, and then I fine myself. So I am. I am in charge of the Homeowners Association, and what day is it? It's as I'm recording this. Oh my, it's the Thursday. This is the day every week when the Pope calls me, and we discuss the theological issues. There's a big issue with trying to get more priests to serve in the Amazon region. And he's been asking me how we might do that. I was like, I'm going to stop right now before I start making jokes in that general area. Okay, we'll stop. But anyway, so the Pope's going to call later. So it's a very busy day for me. So I can't do a podcast. I'm sorry. I know you're upset. I can hear the wailing across America. In fact, I can hear it internationally. Because a lot of people, there's time zones. Now people in Beijing, for instance, they're listening to this at different. I've looked at the analytics on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. I know people are listening at different times because they're up at different times. As opposed to me, who's manic and up 24 hours a day. Well, I'm not up 24 hours a day. I'm up about 23 hours and 27 minutes or so. But anyway, again, I'm sorry. I am very sorry that I cannot do a podcast today. So now, what's really going to be disturbing is those guys that did the big opening. I think the opening went 22 minutes. Well, I need them to come back. They've all flew the coop. So I need to find them to come back. Guys, I'm not doing a podcast. And by the way, in the meantime, everybody else that was milling around before, I wish I had given you the okay. You can all go back about your business. Oh, there you go. Okay, everybody's back. Okay, so we're back to normal here, and I'm not doing a podcast, which is a godsend for you and the world. Say a prayer of thanks that I'm not doing another podcast. But I may do another podcast. Well, frankly, I'll tell you, I'm going to do another podcast. There's no freaking stopping me. No. So it's going to happen. Now, whether you choose to listen to it is your prerogative. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks a lot for listening to this, even though it was not an official podcast. I mean, this is going to be one of those things in the record books. We have to put an asterisk next to it. Because it'll kind of say, it's my podcast, episode 3. And then I guess I'll have to put in parentheses, well, kind of. Because it's not technically my episode, my 3rd episode. So because I wouldn't just talk, if it was, I wouldn't just talk about nothing for 10 minutes. All the people that listen to my first 2 are going, oh yeah, there's another joke. He talked about nothing for in his first podcast. It goes for 2 hours, and he talked about nothing. All right, well, listen, I'm sorry. So there's no podcast today, everybody. So please, everybody, please disperse. Please disperse. There is no podcast. Nothing to see here. Anyway, I hope you do come back when I do my actual 3rd podcast, because it's coming soon. As a matter of fact, if the Pope doesn't keep me on the phone today for too long, he can talk, that guy. I think the problem is I talk to him and he speaks Italian. And I'm like, dude, I can't understand what you're saying. But if you want to hang out on the phone for a while, I'm fine. And he's not even Italian. He's from Argentina. The whole thing is it's mystifying to me. I don't know how we got to be friends, but God works in mysterious ways, ladies and gentlemen, just like you too. Now, no, I didn't mean you. No, I meant the band. Do you remember this song? I didn't forget it. Anyway, okay, so listen, no podcast. Nothing to see here. No podcast. And hopefully we'll find those guys so they can do some sort of a fitting close to this non-podcast, okay? But in the meantime, have a nice day. I'm glad you tried to listen to my podcast, because it's not like I'm unwilling to do a podcast, but like oh my goodness, I got another. There's like impeachment hearings going on. I'm supposed to be covering. Is this like? Here, listen. Who is that? Fiona Hill is testifying. I'm supposed to know what's going on. Wow, I can't even work. I'm a lot like that alter ego sound guy who can't figure out how to turn. I can't turn up the sound on my freaking TV. So, well, thanks again for thanks again for listening to my non-podcast. And I think it's about time I get back to my actual work because, yes, it's crazy. So anyway, listen, thank you very much, and just give it a second or two, and I'm sure those other guys will show up, and we'll have some sense. Well, I was going to say we'll end this show with some sense of decorum, but it's not like they're going to provide any remote sense of decorum. But we'll see what happens. It might be funny, so you might stick around. I'm sure it's funnier than this, which, remember, was not even a podcast. It was just me explaining why there's no podcast today. So have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say hi to the Pope for you, if he's like, okay, good. Bye-bye. Oh, goddamn. I cannot believe this. I just about... Hey! Is this not the craziest freaking thing that's happened yet with this Chris Barnes podcast? Hello? I was over here. I dozed off. Did you guys go to the bar? Well, I went with the voice guy. I don't know whatever happened to him. He seems to have bagged me. I don't know. He bagged you as in he bagged you, or he bagged you as in he took off? Well, first he bagged me and then he bagged me. I guess anyway. No, anyway, come on. We got to do the closing thing now because Chris Barnes just kind of set us up for freaking disaster. He says he's going to do a podcast. We do the big thing. It took all the time. I am so freaking exhausted. I feel like I worked 3 shifts and now I get over to the bar and then I get a text message from Chris Barnes and he says, hey, I showed up because you guys said something about you thought I was doing a podcast. I'm not doing a podcast. I got to talk to the Pope and all this kind of crap. He doesn't know the freaking Pope. He doesn't know the Pope from a freaking hole in the ground. Oh, you shouldn't talk about the Pope that way. I didn't mean that about the Pope. I mean, Chris Barnes doesn't... Listen, pal. You got to stop second guessing me. We never seem to be able to get these things done because everybody's always like... talking about everything we all say. Where is the freaking voice guy? How about we maybe just play some music, you know? Did Chris Barnes require some voice guy to say anything in particular at the end of his podcast? Well, that's the problem. It wasn't even really a podcast. So we're really in a gray area here, you know? I mean, because it's kind of like, it's not, he kept stressing that it wasn't even a podcast. He was like, thanks for listening. He said something about it. Yeah, you're going to have to release it now because we did it. I don't get that. No, I mean, we could just not release it, you know? Why don't we just stop now? Tell him you'd released it. Now he thinks we released it. And it's him, and it's his podcast. And like I told you a million times, he's a freaking douchebag. You don't question him. You just do what he tells you, because otherwise he's going to be a freaking dick. Oh, he's a dick, he's a douchebag. I'm so confused. I'm like, what is he, you know? Well, it's a good question. I don't know. But listen, we're just voices in his head. We've got to do this. Otherwise, he's pissed off, and nothing's good for any of us, okay? So let's just do the freaking closing, and where the hell is the voice guy? I thought you were going over the voice. You two sounded kind of gay together earlier. Nah, I told you, that's not like that would be a bad thing. Come on. Diversity rules. I'm not gay. But if I was, I like the voice guy. He is my type if I was gay. Big if, okay? You got that? What if I was gay? Oh, forget that.
That ship has sailed. There's been no. Maybe if we had met 30 years ago.
You would have been too young for me.
I know, it's time. This is really getting sick. Stop with the sexual jokes. In whatever form you're making them.
I think you're the one that's making the sexual jokes.
I'm blaming it on Chris Barnes, because like we've established, we're all just voices in his head. We're just all his little alter ego, and it's all really fucked up. But everybody knows that. Even the casual listener knows we're all just freaking Chris Barnes, right? I mean, everybody in the world is Chris Barnes. Hey, let's all just sing Kumbaya. We're all Chris Barnes. Hey, everybody, we're all Chris Barnes. Everybody in the world is Chris Barnes.
Yeah, well, not everybody gets to talk to the Pope on Thursdays.
I don't think Chris Barnes is talking to the Pope on Thursdays.
What day of the week, then?
I don't think he's ever talking to the Pope. I don't think the Pope would ever talk to him. I think if the Pope ever talked to Chris Barnes, they'd like freaking... They wouldn't let him be Pope anymore.
I didn't know Chris Barnes was the Pope.
I mean the real Pope. They wouldn't let the real Pope be Pope anymore if anybody found out that he was having a regular phone call with Chris Barnes. I mean, I'm thinking the Pope, I don't think he's ever heard the podcast that Chris Barnes does, because if he ever heard the podcast, I think the Pope would pretty much say, hey, I better not be listening to Chris Barnes' podcast. At least not on any devices that are traceable here at the Vatican. Pope gets arrested for surfing the web and listening to Chris Barnes' inappropriate podcast.
Wow, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Scandalous. Scandalous.
All right, so what are we doing?
I don't know. The voice guy has not shown up yet. I was just sort of buying some time, hoping that my friend the voice guy would show up. Hey, what's going on? I just heard that there's no podcast today. Hang on.
I just heard that we're not actually, he didn't actually do a podcast, and now we're suddenly back here, and we have to do some sort of a closing for Chris Barnes' podcast or non-podcast or whatever the hell it was.
I know. I'm as confused as you are. But, I mean, go figure. Hey, it's another day in the life of Chris Barnes. I mean, it's pretty much, it's chaotic. It's just chaotic. It always is.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Well, anyway, listen, I'm the voice guy, so if there's going to be any vocal qualities needed and expertise and professionalism...
You're sort of melding between, you suddenly kind of sounded like the voice guy and an old man over there at the same time. Can we please just keep our characters together here? Nobody can do a job. Nobody can stay in character. What's going on? And why is all that background up again?
I think Chris Barnes said everybody was allowed to go back about their business, so all the background noise came back up.
Well, I don't want it up now because,
Yeah, that's what she said.
Well, that was only because I had given it to her so many times. She was, come on, that's crazy. Anyway, and it wasn't her. No, I mean, I'm not gay. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. Stop it. Everybody's confusing me now. Let's just please stop it. Can we just please do the closing?
The closings are never as complicated as the openings. I think we should be able to figure this out.
Wow, that's one of the most brilliant things you've ever said, old man. But of course, you're dreaming because it's not going to happen.
I don't know, man. I think it would be good for Chris Barnes' marketing products or strategy.
Oh, like he's got a marketing strategy.
Well, I mean, whatever. I'm just saying. I think we should cut it fairly soon. And,
What do you mean, cut it?
Well, you're the guy that used to tell me I didn't know technical terms. You don't know what cut it means.
I don't know. I get it. Okay, I know what you mean. I thought I was going to make a circumcision joke, but I thought better of it.
Circumcision joke?
Yeah, there's an old circumcision joke. It's crazy. I'm not going to make it because it's stupid.
No, now I want to hear it. Now you've got my mind working. I want to hear the circumcision joke. Frankly, I want to hear the circumcision joke, too. I'm with old guy. I want to hear the circumcision joke.
All right, okay. The joke is, did you hear about... Oh, it's stupid. Just wait. Let me get a grip on myself here. Okay.
Oh, man, get a grip on yourself. What are you doing?
No, I don't mean that. I mean, no, okay, here we go. Did you hear about the rabbi that does circumcisions for free? Come on, did you?
No. Are we supposed to say no? Is this like a knock-knock joke?
No, it's not a knock-knock joke. I just wanted you to say no. I didn't hear about the rabbi that does circumcisions for free. Come on. It's a quick joke. If you would just play your role.
Oh, I didn't know we had a role. It's just a joke.
When somebody says, did you hear about the thing with the thing? What do you say?
Well, I would say, what thing you're talking about. As a matter of fact, are you talking about more than one thing?
Look, did you hear about the rabbi that does circumcisions for free?
I guess we're supposed to go no. Okay, all right. I'll join you there, old man. No. Let's say it together. Well, we can't because we're not recording it that way. It's too much work to record the two voices and lay them over. Anyway, no. So no. I haven't heard about the rabbi that does circumcisions for free, and as I have not either.
He only takes tips.
I don't get it. Oh, I get it. It's really that's nasty. I don't get it. I want to know why is it nasty.
All right, forget it. It was everything takes too long here. I tell you, I can't even tell like a two-line joke and not make it take 5 minutes. It's like Chris Barnes trying to explain that he has a fucking podcast. It takes the whole podcast. He just did a podcast telling everybody that he's not doing a podcast. Can we please just get this shit together, please? So how are we going to end this thing?
I know you were the big boss here. You're the one that always yells at everybody. I figured you're going to figure out how to... What do you want us to do, man? I mean, and am I using the same music?
Of course you're using the same music. Why would we suddenly start using... frankly, now that I think about it, I don't care what music you use. You can, what? If you can find different music, because I don't think you can find your way out of here. But if you can find different music and you want to use it, I don't give a freaking shit because I'm done. I'm tired. I don't need this anymore. So you just find whatever you want to do. And Voice Guy, you know what? You can say anything. You can just talk gibberish. I don't freaking care. But we got to do something that I can edit on to the end of Chris Barnes' non-podcast today and say, this has not been a podcast. How about that? How about, hey, thanks a lot for listening to Chris Barnes' not podcast. How's that?
I don't know. I think if we think about it, we could come up with a better way to phrase that.
Who cares? Chris Barnes worrying about how he phrases things. Come on, this is getting old. You're driving me to drink. I'm going to do it right now.
Well, as if you don't already do it.
I'm doing it again. There, I just had a drink.
Wow, what was it? Can I have some of that?
Ew. No, that's disgusting. I don't want your lips anywhere near it.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I know, I get it too.
So listen, what do you want me to say?
I am going to just let you wing it. How's that? Why don't you just freaking wing it? And Music Guy, you wing it too. Pick any music you want. Voice Guy, say anything you want. And when there's some sense of closure here, which I'm sure is never going to happen, because God damn it, he's going to want to do another podcast. I'd say we just all take off and not let him bug us again. He can get a bunch of different stupid... But he's got a lot of voices in his head. I think he can find somebody else to do these openings and closings. It doesn't have to be the same bunch. Maybe he can figure out how to do some different voices.
I understand. He's not very good at accents, because It would be fun if he did it as like a bunch of British people.
Well, as if you think that's funny, like, you know, a bunch of British people, like, are you disparaging British people? Because, I mean, you know, I think Chris Barnes, if you're figuring that Chris Barnes should be focusing on doing British accents, which he can't do, which absolutely true, but I mean, what if he could? Wouldn't that be like a real nasty, terrible thing to do to the British people? I like the British. I have British heritage. I really resent you for saying that.
All right, this is getting crazy. Can we just, when it starts getting crazy for my tastes, you know?
Well, now you don't anybody's taste. We're talking about Chris Barnes' podcast here, or not podcast, as the case may be today. So, okay, let's do something. Okay, let's figure it out. I mean, and let's do that thing where I just shut up for a couple of seconds.
Like that's gonna happen.
All right, what are you suggesting here?
Well, you are just another one of those voices in Chris Barnes' head, you know. And I think you're the most dominant side voice in his head because, just like him, you seem to talk all the time. I would have to say that I've never heard anybody aside from him himself, Chris Barnes, talking up.
You've never said this much. What's going on that you're talking that much? Every time you talk, it's usually like, you know, 2 words. It's usually like, and, you know, that's kind of like most, when I think of you, I think about like, to be honest with you, when I think about you, I think of shit. I think of a big stinking pile of shit. That's what I think of.
Wow, this is really getting nasty. I'm glad Chris Barnes checked that this is not for children. I'm glad.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, when you upload things to YouTube these days, you got to come out and say whether it's for children or not. And if you don't answer yes or no, they don't let you upload it.
Yeah, he knew right off the bat that he...
Okay, listen, we keep talking about this minutia here.
Minutia? I don't even know what that is. Well, I'm not surprised. I actually don't know what it is either. But as the voice guy, I got to tell you, I could say that word brilliantly. Minutia. It makes it sound like it's something special. Hey, listen to Chris Barnes' podcast and feel the minutia.
Actually, I think that's pretty good. Why? I think we've just ended this thing.
Well, there was no music, and the background noise is still going on.
All right, well, why don't we just do it again? I'll get everybody to shut up. Shut up, everybody. Everybody shut up. We're doing the end of the podcast. End of the podcast, everybody. Podcast ending. Please disperse. Please disperse. Podcast ending. Quiet on the set. All right, here we go. So, music guy, why don't you just bring the music down, bring the music up. You know.
What music?
Whichever you decided. You've been playing different kinds of music in the background. The whole time we've been talking, there's music playing. You seem to have figured out how to do this, kind of. Why don't you just find something, anything, the music that's playing, just bring it down and bring it up again. We've been through that a million times. I think we went through that at the beginning of the freaking show. I think it took about 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay, I think I got it. I've retained that.
Okay, here we go.
No, I'm still not clear on what you're talking about.
Oh, for Jesus Christ's sake. Okay, listen. So I'm going to be quiet. Music guy's going to bring up some music.
You're really losing it, man. You're just losing it.
Okay, well, go figure. You know, I'm just a voice in Chris Barnes' head. What do you think? I'm losing it? Did I ever have it? I don't think so. Okay, so we're going to bring the music down, or we're going to just stop the music, or whatever we're going to freaking do with the music. Just the music will start in some way, shape, or form, and the voice guy will say, actually, I don't know what to say, because he didn't, I guess the problem is it wasn't supposedly really a podcast, because all Chris Barnes kept stressing was that he wasn't doing a podcast. So I'm a little unclear on this now, too. I don't professionally, as a career guy in Chris Barnes' head, I am a little bit unclear on what he wants us to do. You know, so, I mean, I guess we just, how about here? Here, I got it. will just say, the voice guy can just go, "This has been a Chris Barnes production," and we'll just lay it in his lap, you know, like kind of like, if you think this is screwed up, well, blame Chris Barnes because it's a Chris Barnes production.
So you want me to say all that? Because I think that's the way to go.
What? Do you think this is screwed up?
Oh, I could do that. Hi, if you think this is screwed up, blame Chris Barnes, because this is a Chris Barnes production.
I think we've just done it. And the music, well, but the crowd noise was there. No, let's redo it. And do something like that. That'll work. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Music guy.
Okay. Huh? Yes, what? I'm confused. I don't remember what voice I'm doing. Well, that's going to be a problem. We're finally here at the end. We're like this close to the goal line. And you're like, you can't even remember what voice you're supposed to do.
All right, now I got it. This is the voice, and I'm over here. Okay, fine. Because at first I was like, I was over here, and then I was over here, and the acoustics, the dynamics of the listening from the listener's point of view. Yeah, I get it. Whatever. Okay, listen. Here we go. You're gonna do the thing with the music and the voice guy, and you do your thing. I don't even freaking care. Just freaking do something, and let's go back to the bar.
Okay. I like that plan. That's a good plan. Okay, let me just take a deep breath because I'm exhausted. It's not easy doing all these voices at once.
I hear you. Man, this is freaking crazy. This Chris Barnes is a freaking asshole. I told you in episode 1. He's a freaking asshole.
I seem to remember you stressing in episode 1 that Chris Barnes is not a piece of shit.
I know, I was being good. I was towing the company line. I was like, everybody reminds me, make sure you tell America that Chris Barnes is not a piece of shit because it's his first podcast and he wants to be popular. But that ship has sailed.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Old guy's falling asleep again, so I don't know. Should I just play the music? I've kind of learned how to play the music.
Can he do it better than the old guy? Because I'll tell you what, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, I think I can do it. Hang on. Can I pick something?
Oh, for God's sakes. You're complicating things now. Why? What are you going to pick? You got some brilliant idea for how to end this?
Well, I'm not saying it's a brilliant idea, but I think I can think of something that would be just be different. Different than the music he keeps wanting to use.
All right, fine. Find it as quick as you can because I am tired. And I got to go to the bathroom and I need another drink. So come on.
All right, hang on. Let me see here.
What are you doing?
That's supposed to be me on... That's supposed to be me on the keyboard. I'm doing this on a computer. It's a big time...
All right, I get it. Just find the friggin' music and just, whatever. Come on, how long does it take? I've been on computers. How long does it take? I could get to YouTube and find some sort of crappy music in like 2 seconds. How many keystrokes does it take you to find some sort of music?
Well, I did tell you I don't specialize in this particular part of the business.
Oh, business. Oh, yeah. Well, that's, certainly lowercase b for that one, right?
Yeah, no. I know what you're saying there. Hey, what's going on?
I guess we were talking kind of loud, weren't we? Sorry, old guy. We didn't mean to wake you up. Go back to sleep, would you? We were actually starting to get somewhere once you fell asleep.
I kind of resent that, but I could still use a nap.
Good. Just continue. Resume the nap. Napping is approved for you. Resume your nap. And voice guy, find the music thing.
well, wait a minute, though. I finally had purpose. I was doing music, and now, so I take a nap, and all of a sudden, everybody's like taking over my job.
Oh, come on. I am so freaking sick and tired of the complications in this situation, and nobody's listening. And even if they are, well, then I worry about their mental health. You know, Chris Barnes was talking in his non-podcast one time about how everybody was like worried about his mental health. I got to tell you something. I am worried about our mental health.
Well, thought we established we're all just voices in his head anyway.
Wow, when you put it in those terms, I guess I can get my arms around that. That's
what she said.
Yeah, I know, yeah, funny. Okay, listen, please, everybody, listen. And in the back, can we stop the background noise again? It keeps creeping back in every time I say stop the background noise. That everybody starts up again. Okay, so no more background noise. Play some music or hum. I don't care. Find a kazoo. How about somebody just get a fucking kazoo and everything, or just anything. I don't care. And play some random tune. And voice guys say, hey, this was the thing that never happened. And then we can say, hey, Chris Barnes, yeah, we finished your podcast. Because he's going to call later and go, did you put a closing on my podcast? Well, first of all, I'm going to say, well, you said it wasn't your podcast. But then you acted like you were somehow had to release it because it started or something. And I mean, you know, if you were only doing that because you felt bad that we did that big rambling intro, I mean, I'm gonna tell him, you know, listen, you don't have to release this, but you know, I think it's probably too late now, because if anybody's hearing it, it means it got released, and chances have it. Well, I don't mean anybody's actually gonna be listening to it like seamlessly, but I mean, somebody might be just jumping around and saying, what the hell is this? And they're hearing us, and if we don't have like a normal closing.
What do you mean normal? What's normal about anything in this product?
All right, that's a good point too. But anyway, listen, we're accountable to Chris Barnes. When you are Chris Barnes' alter egos and voices in his head, you become accountable to Chris Barnes. And if you don't treat him right, he's gonna he's an ass. I told you, he's a douchebag. He's going to freaking make life terrible for you. So let's just do what we're supposed to do. And like I said, we'll get the hell out of here, and we'll go back to the bar.
I don't think you let me go to the bar last night. You just kind of left me sleeping on the floor here.
All right, yeah, I would prefer you not come with us, but I'm just, all bets are off. You know, I mean, when you know, I have no leverage anymore. Please, can we just end this thing? I'm just trying to voice the hopes of America and the world. We need to end this thing once and for all. Because at the root of it all, just like he said in the non-podcast, he's very busy today. The Pope is going to be talking to him.
I thought you doubted that whole story.
I do doubt the whole story, but come on, let's just get it done. Because what are the chances? Maybe he does know the Pope. I don't know.
I would suspect he doesn't actually know the Pope.
I would suspect. I think you know, the more I know you, old guy, the more I actually agree with you and trust your judgment. But anyway, okay, once and for all, we got to end this. This could go on forever. Because, you know, when you're just a voice in Chris Barnes' head and you start talking and there's other ones and you guys all like, you know, if it was just me, if I was the only one in here, I could figure this out. But, you know, it's just the kind of the way it goes, okay? So let's get it done once and for all now.
If you want a full reference,
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm getting back to finding the music. You wanted me to find music.
Oh, for God's sakes. Just play something that's in the file. There must be like a little thing on the side of the application that says you've got a file and there's some music and everything. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Just put it on and then bring it down a little bit so people can hear you talking over it, and just say some damn thing about thanks a lot, you fucking jerks, and we're done.
I don't think you should call people fucking jerks. Because, you know, first of all, you know, maybe the Pope listens to this.
All right, okay, so keep it clean. Just say, thanks very much. This has been Chris Barnes' non-podcast. Ha, 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 ha. And then we'll all be just out of here, all right? Once and for all. Once and for all. Let's do this. Please, for God's sake. Did you get it this time?
No, hang on, a couple more.
Come on.
I have got it. Oh. Wow, how did you do that? Show me how to do that.
Well, I just went like this. I went over here to this thing, moved the cursor onto the, you put it in the field and you search for. Will you guys stop it? This is not like, we're not supposed to be learning on the job here. We're doing a thing. Come on, please, teach them later. Take it back to your house, make them a nice little dinner, have a couple of cocktails, and then you can sit at the computer and show them how to do this. But for now, anybody that knows how to do anything, please, for God's sake, could they just please do it so we can finish this?
All right, well, now I've got to go back because I had the music ready to go, and then I hang on.
Come on!
All right, I got it.
You want a full reference, huh?
What do you think of that?
I think it's fine. It's music, right? It's bizarre, but just do the thing. Say something, for God's sakes. Just say something, end it, and let's go.
I'm trying to remember that minutia thing. Didn't you say something about?
Yeah, I don't remember either. I got no short-term memory. Come on, what is that? I'm in Chris Barnes' brain. What do you think is going on here? Just make something up.
So I should I really position it as this was not really a podcast?
I don't know, really. I'm so confused. I am so confused. I have no idea what we should do. You know, I would just call, if he was like a normal guy, I'd just call Chris Barnes or text him and say, hey, we kind of got into this thing and now we're a little confused about how do you want us to do the ending. But, you know, that's just going to open up a freaking Pandora's box. I mean, we're going to be here for like a year. So I don't even want to tell him. I actually plan on just like, let's finish this thing up. And I don't want him to take a hit out on me. So I'm just going to like finish the thing. We file it. We get it there. He can post it. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't care if he wipes his ass with it. We'll just, as most people will. We're just going to finish it. And we're going to let him have it. And then we're just going to step out. We're going to step away. And he can get a new bunch of voices in his head to take this over. Because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm tired.
I'm all for that, too. Yeah, I can't argue with you, really. Okay.
All right, so let's just get back to it. We're ready to go, right?
Hang on.
You want a full reference, huh?
Oh, come on. I thought you said you had the music ready to go.
Well, now that we've discussed that I can do anything, I'm thinking about maybe we switch it up, and I got something else. I got to find it here. Oh, hey, pick that. No, I don't want to pick that. That's not good. Oh, how about that? That's good. No, I don't want that either. I think that would be good. That's the same thing you just pointed at. Damn. Oh, man.
What the hell is going on over there? What are you looking for? I thought we just said we were just going to wing this. Find elevator music. Find anything. Find somebody with a kazoo. Didn't we go? What? Hey, old guy, why don't you just hum something? And the other guy can...
We'll have to use multiple tracks. And that's going to be complicated. And if you want to...
All right, yeah, okay, I get it. You're right. Okay, well, we're using multiple tracks with the music anyway, really. I mean, come on, honestly. It's like theater of the mind. I mean, when we actually mix this down, we were going to have to, you know, use multiple tracks.
I still don't know some of the terminology around here.
You want a full reference, huh?
All right. Okay, do whatever you were doing.
You want a
I am finally set. Oh, you're going to use that music? Yes, I'm using that music. I'm making a freaking decision here, and we're going to use that music.
Kudos to you. Finally, somebody around here who knows something about something. Just do it.
All right, so should I just, like, fade? Should I just play the music and then just start?
How many times have I told you? Play the music, say something, or fart in the microphone. I don't care anymore. Make a noise. Hey, you've been listening to Chris Barnes' non-podcast. I don't care. Just do something so that I can technically. I just want to cover the technicality of when he calls and says, "So did you do the thing that ended my podcast that I didn't actually do?" I can say, "Yes, we did, Mr. Barnes."
Wow, you call him Mr. Barnes, huh?
Frankly, I do. I don't know. I've called him Sir.
Wow, that's starting to sound kinky.
Not during those moments, but.
What do you mean by those moments?
We need to stop this right now. I am so sick and tired of this. Play some music, say some crap, and let's get out of here once and for all. For God's sake.
All right, I think it's time. I'm tired. All right, here we go. Here we go, everybody. Quiet on the set.
That's what I say. Shut up. Hey, quiet on the set.
Thanks for that. All right, playing the music. Hey, I just realized.
What? I'm waiting for you to say something.
No, I just realized you suggested we could get off as easy as me just saying, "This has been a Chris Barnes production."
Yeah, I think that kind of covers it. I think that's fine. I think with that, I'll feel fine if he asks me, "Did you do a closing?" I'll say, "Yes, Mr. Barnes, sir, we did a closing." And then he can find out that all you said was, "This has been a Chris Barnes production." And by the time he finds it out, we'll be the freaking out of here. We'll be in somebody else's head.
I like it. Like I say, I think that's a very good plan. I think I'm going somewhere else. I don't know if I'm going to go along with you guys.
Well, don't stick around in Chris Barnes' head because it's going nowhere, pal. So, you can do whatever you want. And it's not like we want you with us, so, whatever. But fine, that's you're old. You've got the dementia thing happening. It's clear a mile away. All right, so let's get back to it here. So you're just gonna play some music and you're just gonna say, "This has been a Chris Barnes production." Ha ha ha! It's gonna be funny, and then we stop it and we leave.
Yep, I think it's a plan. Here we go. Wait, hang on. That was bad. Let me warm up. Me.
You've got to warm up. You've been talking. You're like Chris Barnes. We've been talking for like an hour. What do you got to warm up your voice? Come on, just do it. I don't care. You can sound like freaking Topo Gigio.
I don't get that reference.
Topo Gigio was this little mouse character. It was a little puppet on the Ed Sullivan Show back in the 60s.
Wow. Geez, I got to tell you something. I'm old and I don't remember the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem with this program. All the millennials are not going to know what the hell we're talking about. But anyway, Google it. Or go on YouTube and look up Topo Gigio. He was a little Italian mouse.
Yeah, he was kind of like a little stereotype Italian mouse. It was like he was making fun of Italian people. I don't think he would fly today. I don't think it's politically correct.
I don't care. You know what? Here's what we do. Real quick, you say something about "This has been a Chris Barnes production," and then let's drop in a little piece of Topo Gigio. I'm sure we can find him on YouTube. Well, one of us can. Maybe if we put our collective 3 freaking brains together here, we can find Topo Gigio on YouTube and drop in a little Topo Gigio thing at the end.
I really don't remember how that's going to relate. Teddy.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It suddenly has me kind of laughing too. But I think it'd be funny. and it would educate the children. We're doing this for the children, for God's sakes.
I thought you said it was already distinctly known that Chris Barnes had to check that this is not for children.
I mean, okay, we're doing it for people who are still have memories of being children. You know, unlike some of us here.
Okay, I'm really getting tired. I'm like everybody here. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I want to, I'm a voice in Chris Barnes' head. I want to be there and kind of like chime in while he's talking to the Pope today. So anyway, so here, let's do it. Here we'll do this. And then, hang on, let me look for some Topo Gigio. Holy cow!
Holy cow, what?
You wouldn't believe how much Topo Gigio is on YouTube. There is a lot of Topo Gigio here. There's the one where Ed Sullivan kisses him when he's putting him to bed. That was my favorite one.
All right, listen, this is not for you to relive your childhood memories. This is for you. I'm sorry I ever brought up the idea of putting an actual Topo Gigio thing. I don't even remember how Topo Gigio came up in this conversation. But there you go. You work on Chris Barnes' podcast, and you lose your freaking mind. Anyway, please do whatever you have to do to make this end.
All right, I think we're actually ready to go.
Well, I certainly am ready to go. I am ready to go and never come back.
All right, leave it at... As a matter of fact, hey, old guy, I know how to run the music now, and I even know how to do the Topo... Hang on. Now you hit that one over there. That's right. Okay. So now I've got it. I got everything I need. Why don't you guys just get the hell out of here? And I'm going to do the little ending thing, and we'll just and leave it here. Well, I'll do whatever I have to do. Am I supposed to like edit it on to the end of his thing?
I don't think it fucking matters because I think this whole shit is all like it's all on there too. So whatever, I mean, it's just do it and leave it there. When he calls me and says, "Did you do an ending?" I'll say yes. You have to go to the very end of the file, and it'll be there.
I think that works. Okay, hang on. Topo G.
I thought you said you had it.
Sorry, I leaned on the keyboard and I lost it. Okay, hang on, I got it now.
All right, well, I am gonna leave. So thanks a lot. Okay, I'm going. See you guys.
I'm just gonna lie down and take a nap. All right, you take the nap. I'll do the thing. There we go. This has been a Chris Barnes production.
But Topo, right now, it's time for bed.
Oh, ready. All right. Kiss me good night first.
Yes, Topo. Good night.
Tuck me in.